Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have a daily message for you today. It is September 9th, so we're right at the 9/9 portal. I didn't post a message yesterday. My Divine Masculine and I got on the phone and were talking through and transmuting a lot of energies that are going on in the collective right now, and we were on the phone for hours. So it felt like the work that we were doing kind of was the daily message, and the energy that we were clearing went out to you energetically as your message. So that's why I didn't post one yesterday. Okay, so we are at the 9/9 portal right now. It is an important time for what they're telling me is anchoring into your now moments and taking all of the energies of the past and the future and anchoring them here into right now. So whatever it is that holds you back, that you need to let go of in order to allow you to continue moving forward and to not move too forward into the future and be pining for something that you want to have, and to set intentions and try to be manifesting things, but then be resistant and not reluctant, maybe reluctant because they put that word in my head, reluctant to move forward, or reluctant to live now, reluctant to be in the now, because you'd rather be in the things that you're manifesting for the future. And so you're existing in a different timeline. You're existing in the future, but the future isn't here right now. And so it leaves you in this kind of vortex, this like void almost, where you don't want to live in the past, you want to move forward. Sometimes the energies of the past pull you back a little bit, but you want more than anything to be in the energy of what it is that you're manifesting, the things that you want. You want to move forward, you want to be in relationship with this person, you want these things, but there's something that keeps you from being here now and appreciating what you have here now. That what's here now is not enough. Because you have such grand and strong vision for what it is that's sitting there in the future energy. It's almost like you can see those things, you can feel them. What they really want you to do is tap into the knowing and into the energy of knowing those things, knowing that they exist and they are waiting there for you, but there are so many now moments that need to happen in order to get to that. And the more that we reach for that and want to be in those future moments and are kind of wishing for those, the less we are present here in these moments. And so the more resistance we create and the longer it takes to actually get to those future moments. We have to recognize that every single step, every single thing that we do, every person that comes on our path, every single day that we live leading up to all of those things is what's important. Because if we don't focus on those things happening are so important in order to manifest the things in the future. So if we're living outside of these moments, we're not doing the work that we need to be doing in order to manifest the things that we know are there in the future. All we need to do is feel the energy of them there and revel in them, and just know that I feel so strongly about it. I want so bad, to see the evidence of it. That's what it is that kind of keeps us there, is we want to believe, we want to have hope, we want to know it in our soul without being able to see it, but we're not used to doing that. The program is that I need to see proof of it before I can believe it. Right now, it's anchoring into a belief system that what I feel is what I know. I woke up this morning with like back pain for the last 2 mornings actually, and it's lower back pain, and they right away, as soon as I get up, they tell me root chakra. And there's something going on in the root chakra that stops you from trusting yourself, from trusting that knowing, from trusting that these future things do exist, from trusting action, which is masculine energy. So for a lot of you, what it is this thing in the past is keeping you from fully allowing yourself to continue to trust masculine energy. And that's masculine energy within you, but your experience is distorted masculine energy from the past that keeps creeping up and it keeps creeping up. And even if you allow yourself to lean into it and you get this momentum going, masculine energy is action and movement. When you get this momentum going, something always stops you. Something always pulls you back. There's always like this stop, start, because when you get moving, this energy back here gets scared. There's fear. There's fear connected to where we're going, though, and not being able to see where we're going. That's wounded feminine. Fear of not being able to see, not having clarity, not knowing is the worst thing. And so the feminine steps into needing to know for herself, needing to know first before, or needing to see first before she's able to believe, before she's able to move forward, before she's able to just go and to create action for herself. It's like she wants to see it. So like I was saying, we want to see the evidence of it before we can just believe and move forward in our lives. So like, it's almost, when you go to manifest something, they just want me to give you an example. When you go to manifest something, let's say, so there's this crystal sound bowl that I want, that I've wanted a set of sound bowls for a long time, but they're obviously pretty expensive. And I walked into a metaphysical store the other day, and I had actually seen one in Glastonbury when I was in England with my Divine Masculine, and it was this huge one. It was this just like massive bowl, and it was solar plexus, the note for the solar plexus, which I believe is E, the key of E. And when we would play it, it was just like, it just kept going and it kept going, and it was like, it was vibrating deep into my soul. It was the most amazing sound ever. And I was like, I need this in my life. The one in Glastonbury is, I don't know, $450, $500 for that sound bowl. But I was like, I need this in my life. So the other day I was walking around in a town not far from me and found a metaphysical store, and they had a sound bowl in there, and it was not quite as big as the one that I had seen in Glastonbury, but it was maybe half that size, but still a really big size. And I started to play it. It was up on the shelf, and I started to play it, and it just played so easily. There was just so much ease to it, and it was so beautiful, and it had such a full sound. And when I stopped, the sound just kept going and going and going and going and going and going. And I was just like, oh, this reminds me exactly of that other one. And they were like, bing, 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 bing. And it was pretty inexpensive for a sound bowl that, the smaller ones, the 10-inch ones or the 12-inch ones are usually around $200 or something like this. This one was just huge and really just such a full, beautiful sound. It was only $275. I was like, I gotta snatch that up. I felt like it was for me. I just had this thing where I was just like, I feel like that's for me. But there is that me from the past that lives in a place of lack, that grew up with a single mom raising 6 kids, and she's pretty frugal in order for her to survive. And so we were constantly really always worried about money, and money, that kind of energy was very lack mentality. And so she kicks in and she says, that's not reasonable. That is not a responsible decision. We have bills that are coming up. I have my car payment coming up, and I just had a trip to England and spent a bunch of money while I was there. And I just went through this checklist of why I shouldn't get it. This inner voice, this old subconscious lack energy was speaking to me, and not trusting the intuition that I was getting, not trusting what I was wanting to do or what I was thinking, like this was a message This was a message from the universe. Like, you asked for it, here it is. And not trusting that I should just move forward with it, not trusting that masculine action that I felt immediately. I was like, I feel like I need to just get it. But then this voice kept holding me back. This voice kept holding me back. At the time, they didn't know what the note was. And so I asked them, and she was going to check, and she was going to text me later and let me know. So all I knew was the sound was just amazing. And she texted me back later and said that it was the E note, which is the solar plexus. And I was like, this is that exact same one from Glastonbury. It's like, I manifested this. So if I manifested it, why can't I just trust that that money is going to be in my reality? If that sound bowl exists, and I know, and I have this feminine intuition and this knowing that that is meant to be mine, that they place that there just, to show me something. Why, or that because it's mine, why can't I trust that that money is also going to show up in order for me to feel safe, to feel 1111 on my recording right now, to feel secure, to feel grounded, in my knowing that this is what I'm supposed to do, and that the money will just be manifest. And it's always this test of faith, And when it comes to money, that is my biggest test of faith. And it comes from, there's been all this solar plexus, sound bowl. There's been all this solar plexus purging for me in the last week or so. And it's all about worth. It's all about self-worth. This place of lack comes from my belief system from when I was growing up, from all the way up until, it still whispers in my ear, excuse me, about not being good enough, about not being worthy of that, me not being worth that kind of gift to myself. It doesn't seem like a priority. It doesn't seem like something, it's like I shouldn't spend that amount of money on myself. And that is the lack programming. That's the old programming. That's my mother's programming. God love her. I don't know that she ever spent any kind of money on herself, that she ever made herself a priority. And so that kicks in and has taken over, and it's taken over. And it leads to other things. It has led to just this worry about money for this month, and I check my bank account and blah, blah, blah. And then one thing leads right to another, and then I start worrying about this bill, and I worry about, I don't know what money is coming in because all of my services are by donation, and, each one of my clients chooses what they're going to pay me. And so not knowing, that feminine not knowing again, not knowing what money is going to be coming in, it feels very unsturdy for me. And yet I can't change. I have been guided not to change my services for me to decide what to charge for my services. They want me to keep it as in that way where you guys decide what it is that you're going to give me for the services that I give you, what that energy exchange is for you. But I keep getting tested. I keep getting tested with the energy of lack and trusting and trusting and trusting. So that's what we're working through right now. I'm not telling you right now that I have any answers. I'm just putting it out there because that's where I am, and that's where a lot of you are. And so we collectively are clearing through self-worth connected to finances, which is something that we revisit over and over and over again. But there are layers and layers and layers of it that are being peeled away, slowly being peeled away. There's another one. I was telling you guys the other day that some of us are just so close to busting through and being launched. It feels like the energy of this lack is what is holding us back. So how do we launch forward? How do we, that rubber band that's being pulled back, how do we release that? How do we get that to release? And they're telling me being present, and just knowing that you are supported. Calling on Archangel Michael in order to feel grounded and feel protected. It's about feeling protected and safe. There's so much fear out there right now, and we have so much fear connected to shining our light and being fully ourselves, that we shine our light and we start to move forward and create that momentum, and it's like we expose ourselves when we do that. And so the vulnerability of that, there is attention drawn on the light when there's a lot of shadow around you, when there are people who are in very dense energies, who are in very lower vibrational energies around you. When you, as a higher vibration, step into that arena and shine your light, they feel a lot of fear. And eventually they lash out at us sometimes, and because of their fear. And they want to keep this kind of mob mentality because that's what makes them feel safe. But we just have this knowing of the truth underneath of it all, that there are some times where we are just ready to bust free of that and just be like, no, this is the truth. This is the truth as I know it, and it is what makes me feel safe. And I get these messages directly from God. I know the truth, my truth, more firmly than anybody else. And sometimes they still come at you. It is a really hard process to allow yourself to just be in that regardless of other people's reactions, regardless of how dark it is out there. And to stand in the light and just say, it's okay. You're going to see soon enough. Your eyes will adjust. You're sitting in the dark, and I understand I just shined this big old bright light at you. You will adjust. I'm just going to, taking the light away does not help for their eyes to adjust. And I say they, but I also mean the energy of this past version of ourselves, this subconscious belief system from the past that holds us back. What it is we shine our light even brighter, and that energy has fear surrounding it and wants you to tone it down just a little bit. What you're doing is scaring me, and as far as my experience is concerned, I know that this leads to some sort of attention that we don't want. And so we like to stay in the shadows. We are afraid of being seen. And me now is like, well, yeah, that's how we used to think. I know. All right, I'll go slow, but I'm not backing off. Removing the light, backing the light off does not help their eyes to adjust. It just makes it harder. It gives them the darkness again. And that's not our job. Our job is to plant the seeds of light. Our job is to plant the seeds. And so we just leave the seed there. We leave it there and we allow their eyes to adjust. We plant the seed and we allow our subconscious energy to adjust instead of allowing that subconscious energy to come in and take us over. When we start to feel that lack again, when we start to feel that fear again, we need to know that it's because our light is shining brighter. The fear is an indicator that we are ascending, that we have downloaded light, that we are brighter now. We are glowing brighter. When we have reactions of the people around us, and when we trigger people or things like that, it really is just an indicator of how bright you are and how you're getting ready to launch. We just have to stand firm. We just have to have courage. We just have to have courage in that vulnerability and know that we have just opened up even a little bit more. And the fear is connected to opening up. We don't lean into the fear and close back down again. We just stay open and say, okay, fear, I hear you. Thank you for the indication that I have now opened up. I'm so proud of myself. I'm just going to be courageous. I'm going to be so strong and supported in this knowing that we are supported. There are codes right now that are being transferred to you. That's what they're showing me right now. These codes are being transferred to clear out the blockages in your root chakra, okay? That's what's going to help you to feel grounded and safe in this, in your light. It's funny too. I have this book sitting here, and I was wanting to do a reading, and they told me to do an actual reading and like read you a book. As you know, we read energy. It's not just about like, these cards are just like pages in a book. So if I were to read these, they tell a story and I read them to you. So what they want me to do is read you the message from this book today. This is like, okay, class, sit down, let me read a book to you. It's called Among a Thousand Fireflies. Yes, it's a kid's book. I get so many messages in kids' books and Disney movies and things like that. Okay, so this is that blurb in the very beginning of the book. It says, on a summer evening, just as the stars blink on, a firefly steps into a flower. Lights start to flash all around her. First 1, then 3, then 7, hundreds and thousands. How will she find just one flash among so many? And will he see her flash in return? So this is all about standing in our light. This is all about understanding that if we don't shine our light, how will people see us? How will our people see us? We're surrounded by others that don't match our light, but we have just as much right to shine and to call to our people and to be and to exist in this now moment as we are, as they do. Okay. In a summer meadow near the river, as night's first stars blink on, I'll show you the picture. I feel like I'm reading to my kids. A firefly steps into a flower. All around her, lights flash on and off. 1 flash, 3, 7, 11, 20, hundreds, thousands, countless bright flashes. How will she find one firefly among so many? The message in this page also is about the fact that when you shine your light, somebody else gets brave. You have planted the seed for the way that light shines against the darkness, and then another one does it. It's like, ooh, I saw one. Oh, it's my turn now. Yes, I feel so much safer. It only takes one person to shine their light to get others to shine their light too. Sometimes we are that way shower. As way showers, as light workers, we are the ones that need to shine our light first in order to get other people to do it. These seeds that we're planting are awakening other people. It's so important for us to stand strong in that and in that knowing, and to not allow the fear to take over. Speaking to twin flames too. Twin flames are such an important part of light workers and starseeds right now. It is such an important journey to navigate in order to awaken other people. It's not just about the journey to a relationship, to the connection with your counterpart. It's about planting seeds of awakening and union energy in the world and raising the vibration of the planet. Twin flames are so important, and the work that you do on yourself and the light that you shine is so important to the world right now. They wanted me to point that out. Across a distance, wide and dark, she looks out from her flower and sees light, dark, light, dark. Inside the flower, her light flashes back, pulsing through the night. Here I am, she sends a silent call. Over here, look, I'm here. This is so funny. Is it possible that he will see her too? Yes, look, he sees and answers. Light, dark, light, dark. Among 1,000 fireflies, he has found this one. With his light, he calls to her, and she answers. She waits for him. He flies to her. At last, they meet. Night is black and bright and warm. It holds and carries their clear, silent song. So that's the story. In the back of the book, it tells you a little bit about fireflies, called lightning bugs, obviously. Their flashes help them find each other when they are looking for mates. Each kind of firefly has its own pattern of flashes. A female firefly may settle in one spot as the males flash their lights all around her. When the female sees a male flashing her kind of pattern, she flashes back and the male comes closer. They keep flashing back and forth as he flies closer and closer until they are together. A firefly's flash is caused by a chemical reaction when several different substances mix together in the firefly's body. That's alchemy. That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about the alchemy of your light and another person's light. Your light and your counterpart's light. Your light, divine feminine light and divine masculine light. The way that they mix together creates union. But if you don't shine your light, if you don't stand in the light of your essence and trust that your light is shining bright to call forth the mirror of your essence, whether that is soul family, whether that's your collective of people or your divine masculine or your divine feminine or whoever it is, we're all the same. We're all one. So when you create that flash, if you don't create it, how are they to find you? How is your true mirror of your essence supposed to find you if you don't shine your truest essence? If you don't trust that your essence is so important to all of these other people. I'm working through this just as you are. This is all a message for me too. And for my inner, this is my 8-year-old. For some reason, they just told me that. This is my 8-year-old who doesn't think that she is worth it, who doesn't think that she is special, who doesn't think that she stands out in a crowd. She's just one of 6 who gets lost in the crowd because there's so much weight of responsibility. She feels so much burden of responsibility. She feels as like she has a burden. And so that is the energy that I am nurturing right now as I speak through this with you. I transmute as I speak it out, and I see her so clearly, and I feel myself in this now moment, seeing her, just wanting to give her such a big hug and tell her all the amazing, beautiful things about herself and how important her light is to other people. When you flash your light, when you speak your truth, when you say these things that you are afraid of, or when you say out loud, I don't feel like I'm good enough, and you want to heal that, these people out here, it's almost like I'm telling her, look at these people out here. Look at the people that connect with and shine their light back at you and say, I get you. I resonate with that. I get you. It's like this little lightning bug saying, I just need my people. But how can they find you? How can they resonate with you if you don't say those things out loud, or if you don't speak your truth, or if you don't shine the light of your truth? That is my truth, and I'm not afraid of, I don't have fear in saying that out loud, because I know that I'm going to help her work through it, and that you are going to help her work through it, and then I'm going to help you work through it. And just saying these things out loud helps you to work through it too, and to know the depth of your power, to know the depth of your essence, how important it is to all these other people out here, all these other fireflies out here, including your counterpart. We're calling in our soul family. And, it feels like right now, I can almost see her like lighting up and calling in her soul family. The ones that see her, the ones that really see her, that don't make her feel like she's lost in this crowd of people, like she doesn't matter or something. She's calling to her people just to resonate, just to have that similar light and vibration, just to see their light. Just seeing that flash of light, the same pattern, that same soul song, the mirror of her soul song is I know that it's out there. I know I can already see you guys flashing it. I can feel it. She can feel it. That same pattern of light that she is putting out. This is a little bit of a different message today. All right, guys. I love you so much. I'll talk to you tomorrow, okay?